Welcome to Heart Dialogue, where we believe that meaningful dialogues have the power to inspire, heal, and connect us on a deeper level. In this podcast, it's also about gathering and lifting a whole community up. Let us stand in response to people's cries and generate a current of dialogues for a better world. Let's HTHD.
Play my He-Mans. I watch my Transformers cartoon. I also enjoy watching Star Trek. All the boys stuff. So there's a lot of decisions to make, like, starting the medication, practicing my voice. But when it comes to their own family members, the acceptance level is lower. It's called SRS. So sex reassignment surgery.
Growing up, Miss Elise was a boyish boy who enjoyed sports and even her national service. Still, from childhood, she has been curious about girls' fashion and wondered what would it be like to dress as a girl. She transitioned in 2019 and her journey has been emotionally fraught. Coming out at work, she went through gender reassignment surgery alone. Without further ado, let's HTHD. Hi Elise, can you share about how do you come to discover yourself? And because over at the introduction, we were saying that you have been curious about girls' fashion, right? And then, do you mind share more about this journey?
Okay, I think since young, I really have wonder about whether I'm a boy or a girl. There are always some thoughts about it. And I do play like a boy. I play my He-Mans. I watch my Transformers cartoon. I also enjoy watching Star Trek. All the boys stuff. But at the same time, I also like to play with a bit of soft toy. So when you are young, you don't really understand. My family members just call me a crybaby. And that's okay because I'm regularly beaten up by my brother. So we fought or not to be just saying that I always got beaten back. But most of the time. So anyway, when I was young, because he always tear my hair, so I decided to cut my hair very short, and I was the botak boy for all the way to Sec 4 because of that.
Okay, but you were mentioning about the thoughts, right? What sort of thoughts you have had at the back of your mind?
I think when you are primary school, you start to wonder about you just have thoughts that comes in to here and there. Why do I have to stand out and pee? It's kind of when you think back, then you thought that maybe these are all triggers. But these are all very childhood memories. You don't really remember a lot of things. You have only like maybe certain milestones, certain things you do, certain things you wonder, like you look through your sister wardrobe and, that kind of things.
Then you start to wondering like how would it be like if you were to dress up like a girl?
Correct. I mean, yeah.
Okay.
So, I mean, you can secretly try some of the clothes.
So, at what age do you actually secretly try out the clothes, if you remember?
Oh, it's primary school. It's primary school, yeah. I mean, it's just small pieces here and there. And of course, when you are young, the most important thing is that you always think that you are just curious. You always think that it's just some sort of like explore all these things, and you most important thing, you thought that you will grow out of it.
You thought that you
grow out of it? Yeah, I thought I will grow out of it. So then after that, when I reached secondary school, I thought that I will grow out of it. Then when I reached JC, I thought I will grow out of it. Then when I reach, then I go into the army, I thought I would grow out of it.
Okay.
I thought once I go in the army, I'll be fine. Then when I'm in the army, I thought that once I go to the uni, I have my girlfriend, I'll be fine. And then once I have the girlfriend, I thought that once I get married, I'll be fine. Then once I got married, I thought that if I have children, I will grow out of it. Yeah, so the whole cycle keeps going on and on and on. But in reality, you realize that you don't grow out of it. You start to buy one piece of clothing, buy that another piece of clothing, then you buy some makeup, you buy things, and actually over the years, I finally reached a point where I find that I realized that maybe I should see a doctor about it.
So what I hear from you is actually you have been trying to be a man. You try to went through the so-called what you should do as a guy, went through relationships and all that.
I won't say I tried because.
Or do you see, really how was your feeling?
I mean, there are different types of transgender, right? And everyone our journey may have similarities, but then there's also a lot of differences. So for me, I wouldn't say that I try. It's more like because I think I could function as a guy. So that's why when I came out as transgender, a lot of people are very surprised. Everyone was shocked, and because they have no inkling, no idea that I am transgender. So this part of it, I didn't say that I would try because I did excel in being a guy and I did perform reasonably well as a guy. So yeah, so in a part of it, I also can't say that I'm not proud of. I mean, I'm proud of what I achieved, or rather what he have achieved. Yeah, so it's more about what he has achieved, and his journey is his journey, and he had a good run. I think it's time for me to move on.
What makes you decided to take such a huge step to change?
I think it's sort of like it grates on you every single day. And it grates on you every single day that when you wake up, go to work, you take an MRT, and then when you look at the girls, and then you don't look at them like as if the guys will look at them, because you will see a nice dress and then you will wonder what it will be like for you to be in that dress. You wonder where to buy that clothes. You wonder whether you can live the life as a girl. These are the thoughts that was just surrounding me all the time, and you start to wonder, and you start to become aware that I am more than cross-dressing. I do have a issue here, so I had to see a doctor about it.
So you went for therapy?
Yeah, in Singapore, the process is not easy, but I mean, it seems to be a lot easier than, I wouldn't say it's a lot easier, but there is some form of support in terms of the medical care in Singapore. Yeah, so when I decided to see a doctor, I went to a polyclinic first. Then I got a referral to IMH, Institute of Mental Health, where I get to see a general psychiatrist. After I see the general psychiatrist, then I got referred to a specialist psychiatrist. And then that's where the process gets a bit more in-depth, more focused.
Okay.
And it's about accepting yourself, understanding where you want to be, understand yourself, because there's always this question about this is what you want versus this is what you are.
Yeah, but it's definitely very hard, right? Because in 2019, it was just like 3 years back. So you were like, you were just already 40 plus. Definitely not easy for you to,
Yeah,
come to a point.
of maybe some people call it midlife crisis. So midlife crisis is something that we always have to face. You start asking your questions about all this. I think one of the very important questions that I asked myself was, I have this hobby of cross-dressing. And because of this hobby, I am jeopardizing my career, my prospects. What will people think? Because they will think that I'm a pervert or whatever, all these kind of thoughts surround me as well as around my loved ones. So they I mean, she was really nice, but on the other hand, there's always this stress that this hobby may get out of hands.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so for me, I want to move on with my life with more confidence. I wanted to move on with my life with more certainty.
Okay.
And that is being truthful to myself.
Okay.
Right. And I think that is one of the very important things when I go and see the doctors and seek therapy, because I need to be truthful to myself that what I truly am. Now, when I was younger, I always go online. When internet became available, over time, there's resources that, you start Googling all this kind of thing, and you will start to wonder, are you just a cross-dresser for hobby or you are transgender? And then I always find that I'm ticking a lot of the boxes on the cross-dressing side, not much of boxes in the transgender side. So I always like, hang lucky. So I just, take it as a hobby. I can continue my life. But as time goes by, I realize that all these are I call them false blue flag. Because in reality, I do not accept that I'm transgender. In reality is that I feel that I'm scared of the whole process. I'm scared of coming out, living as who I am. I was very, very afraid. And in that sense, therefore, I just take the cross-dressing part and take it as a hobby. And definitely there's a lot of questions, a lot of doubts that whether I can live my life like who I am today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What I hear is really a lot of like making choices and processing your thoughts and trying to understand yourself more. It's like making a choice of where should I go for the rest.
Yeah, correct. Because it is a lot of thoughts, a lot of creating self-awareness, and also struggling with all the potential damages that you will inflict on others, as well as on yourself. Because one of the books says to do this, you must be willing to accept that you will lose everything in your life.
So
your job, your career, your job and career, your friends, your families, all your loved ones, all this you must be prepared to lose everything and then start from fresh.
So you did prepare to lose everything when you decided to transition yourself?
The first step you need to do is, of course, to accept that you may lose everything. You may not see your parents, your family members again. You may lose your marriage. You may lose the house you are staying in. You will lose the job you have. You will potentially cannot find a job, so you lose your career. All these kind of things must mentally be prepared. Of course, then I also weigh the possibility lah. And I think when I was trying to weigh the possibility, I don't just jump into it. I take small steps like shouting out to my mother. Then
how do you sound to her? Like how do you prompt her?
Oh, I really cannot remember. But I remember after I got into a very heated argument with my ex, and then she said something like, whatever she said was at the point of time lah, because she was very scared of losing me ma. Then she was saying that, do you think your mother will accept that? For part of me, after that I got very hyped out. I got very nervous. I got very angry. And that weekend I just went home and then I never think twice, and with all the anger in me, I just blurted it out and tell my mother that I'm going to be a woman. I'm going to be a girl.
Then what did your mom say?
She was very thoroughful. She said that, I can't really remember, but one of the things that she said was, so you're going to be a prostitute? Then I was like, huh? No, I say no lah. I said, I got a job. I can function. So I should be able to continue my job.
At least you can still take care of yourself.
Yeah, then after a while, then as we talk more, then she starts to talk about MC hosts in China called Jingsing. At that point in time, I don't know who is Jingsing, but I had some recollection. So as usual, I quickly pull out my phone and Google her. And then I said, oh yeah, yes. Just like her, just come out, transition. And then after that, just continue her career. So that's sort of came out as a bit of understanding between her and what I'm going to be.
Okay.
Of course, at that point of time, I never tell her when or what I'm going to do. I just tell her that this is who I am.
Okay.
And then after that, she just like, okay. Then after that, I never say anything anymore.
So until you went for this gender reassignment surgery?
No. She sensed that something is not right. Okay. She sensed that my ex is not been... I never talk about my ex anymore. And she sensed that something is not right. So I finally tell her that me and my ex is broken up because of this. And this is where I'm going to be. I think along the way, I have also been sort of affirming to her that this is the path I'm going to take. I did here and there tell her that this is what I'm going to do. So she didn't really ask about what I'm going to do with my ex. Or she also never says that, don't do this. You're going to destroy your life and all this. I think there's a big difference between when you transition young and when you are transitioning when you're older.
Like midlife transition.
Midlife, yeah.
What's the difference like?
When young, naturally, I think a lot of the parents will be very concerned that, they will always think that, you're going to destroy your life. You're going to end up in the street. I mean, the kids will end up in the street because you throw them out of the house.
Yeah.
Right. Or, they will think that, lose face, all this kind of thing. I think parents shouldn't think it that way. Parents shouldn't be like thinking that, first of all, it's not the parents' fault.
Or maybe they thought that, you are not mature enough to know your identity yet. So maybe you will be regret later on.
Frankly speaking, my regret is I never come out earlier. I never take this path earlier. Rather than, actually I don't have regrets in him living his life through all the 40 plus years. Neither do I have a regret of my journey with my ex. It was a very important relationship in my life. But the thing is it's not about the past, it's all about the future, the present, how you want to live your life. And that is what I decided to focus on. And you kind of try to live an authentic life.
Yeah, true.
And I think the younger ones are just now back to what we are talking about. The younger ones, the family members will really care about whether they will have a job, whether they can find a meaningful employment.
Have you met someone like transgender who's a lot younger, like maybe 18, 20, 21 years old?
Yeah, I mean, before I transition, not really. After I transition, yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Before that, I kept to myself a lot. I mean, I do have online friends, but in general, back in the olden days, I started, I have this account I don't know whether you all still remember this thing called Friendster.
Yeah, Friendster.
Friendster before Facebook, there was Friendster.
Friendster.
So we make a bit of friends here and there on Friendster. Then after that, of course, Facebook came along.
Okay.
You have some, I hope my ex don't watch this. So you have your own secret Facebook account. Then you go and make friends with online friends.
Yeah, like sometimes you have second or third Instagram accounts the same right now.
Now don't have one for my cat, one for myself. But I don't see the need to have a hidden thing. But nevertheless, those days, so then you make friends and you do chat. But of course, I promised to my ex that, I need to protect my career, and I don't do any meetups and all this. But there are some of them who meet up quite often.
Okay.
Right, because this kind of thing is a lot of confidence to go around and walk around the streets.
Yeah.
Just as a girl, then if you bump into a friend, you're going to
you'll see like
find a hole where to dig, and you're going to dive yourself, which I did a few times. Yeah.
Then what do you do like when you met someone like on the street? You just turn around and
just kablanka busing. Just try to hide yourself. But sometimes it's very difficult because you are sitting in a cafe and then they walk in. Then you try to, but it's very difficult. I mean, I always pretend that I wasn't seen, but it's only after I transitioned that I realized that actually got people saw me before. Yeah, so
were you afraid how people see you back then?
Gradually I wasn't. No, okay, I was afraid. There are days when I have to dress up. I have this need to dress up. So I'll come out of the handicap toilet, right? I'll come out of the handicap. Okay, that's a secret thing we do. Okay, so we change inside the handicap toilet. So
I'll keep it a secret for you.
Yeah, everyone must keep a secret. So we come out of the handicap toilet, right? It takes us really a long time to dress up.
Okay.
Because we don't know how to do makeup. Right. We don't know how to do that. And then you got to stuff things here, you got to stuff things.
So you have to put all the makeup in your bag.
You got to put your makeup on, then you got to put your clothes inside the bag. And one of the things that I really hated was the wig. And the wig can take forever to put. Then after that, you have to put on your makeup and you have to change. Of course, changing become faster. Then you have to put on your makeup and since you're not very good at it, I mean, it's like all teenagers. When you first started to do your makeup, you will take forever, like half an hour. At times even 45 minutes.
Sounds like very adventurous.
And then you are stuck in a toilet for 30 minutes plus. Then after that, when you are ready, right, you are supposed to open the door, right? Well, your heart, I tell you, can go. Your heart can go pop, 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 pop. You really pop, pop, pop. You know what's the most scary thing? You know what's the most scary thing?
Got people wait for you out there.
Yeah, correct. And then you open, got someone who you know.
Okay.
So, you got somebody out there. That's also very scary. Okay. Yeah. Of course, you just pretend to, I just feel that, okay.
Okay, like KK, then just walk out.
Just walk out fast. Okay. But then there's days when, imagine you spend 45 minutes getting yourself ready. Then once you walk out, right, you just walk a little bit. And then there are days when I got so nervous that after 10 minutes, I'll go back and change and go home.
Like that's enough for today?
It's not enough, but that's all my courage have.
Okay.
Yeah, that's all I have. And it's very scary. And actually to reach the stage where you actually willing to dress and go out in a public space, that is already also quite a milestone.
Yeah,
It's quite a few journey. We usually start with walking around the car parks.
Okay, so that was before, like pre lah. Okay, what about? Can you share with us a little bit for during the transitioning period back in 2019?
2020 actually.
2020.
I started seeing the doctor in 2019.
19. Okay, could you share with us a bit journey for that part? Like,
I mean, it's not politically correct to say, but I must say, thank goodness got COVID.
okay, why?
Because there was a time when I decided to start transitioning. So I was really discussing with the doctors and all this. And somewhere around in January, February, me and my ex, we broke up. And so I was crying my heart out every night. And it was a very, and I decided to transition. I decided to do this. And of course, I got, weekends are very exciting for me. But I was still Monday to Friday, still a guy.
Still working.
Yeah, still working. And then after that, Saturday, Sunday, I have my me time. And so there's a lot of decisions to make, like, starting the medication, practicing my voice, and so on and so forth. And I still remember practicing my voice every morning. I will wake up, on the way to my work, I'll read all the road signs, and I'll read the road signs in the voice that I need to be.
So means this voice wasn't the voice?
No, this is not the voice. And this one is not surgically created. This voice is trained.
So now become like subconsciously you speak with this voice already?
Yeah, but when I'm very tired, I will lose this voice. I haven't reached the stage where I'm very comfortable. I'm with this voice. But the pitch is somewhere there, most of the time.
Actually, honestly, you are more feminine than a woman. Yeah, the way you act and your voice, even more feminine. Okay, so
it's a very big movement. And if you ask me, right, where do I find this inner, the other self, in terms of how I behave, how I conduct myself, how I talk, it comes really naturally.
It's just in
over
you.
time. Over time lah. Over time.
You just
because initially how I eat, how I sit, it's like a guy.
Other than the inner self, right? Previously the rest of yourself just behave like a guy. So then suddenly,
especially like running after bus, right? When you run after a bus, you don't watch how you behave yourself, right? Then girls, I must say girls' shoe are not very easy to run.
So now, do you still chase over the bus? But now
must chase elegantly, but girls' shoe are very difficult. They're always slipping out. So my attempts to, I would say, my chance of getting onto the bus when I chase bus is a lot lesser than those days. Then of course how you stand, like guys like to stand one leg.
Yeah.
Then how you sit.
So you really went through quite a lot of preparation on your own side.
I think to a good extent, my ex, she never teach me, but she will just share here and there, and I will. And also when I started transitioning, that's where you started to try to live like a girl a lot more days on a full-time basis, and you start to observe, then you change. Yeah, I can't say that everything is innate in me. A lot of things I also deliberately observe and then correct how I move my hands, how I talk. Yeah, and develop some signature move of mine.
What's your signature move? So you, like, other than this practicing, like voice practicing, right? You also mentioned about having medicine.
Yeah.
So like before, just curious, so before your surgery, there will be a period whereby you need to have medicine first before you go for surgery, or how is the procedure?
Yeah, so we need to go through this process called HRT, so hormone replacement therapy. And HRT, we need to, it's a lifelong commitment. Just like once you have high blood pressure, diabetes, it's a condition. I mean, we don't call transgender, they don't really classify as a illness anymore. It's just like, if you have high blood pressure, you have a condition, right? But you have a heart attack, it's an illness. But okay, so it's sort of like, I mean, that's my interpretation. You got to ask the doctors. Sometimes I also don't really care all these definitions anymore. So important thing is about this hormone replacement therapy. I will need to be on the estrogen for the rest of my life. Yeah.
Would there be any side effect for you to take this estrogen? Taking
estrogen for transgender has started in 1970s. And there have been a lot of research and example, I mean, very good database of the risk is not very high. As in the risk is the same as any other person. So it's a very low risk.
Then what about like
but there are risks.
After this estrogen, right? Any changes have you seen towards your body or the shape?
Okay, so of course, as for any other girl, we want that this thing to be a priority. Okay, actually one of the thing is the face. So the face, right, needs to be more feminine.
Okay.
And is for people they may not see as very noticeable. For us, because we look at the mirror all the time and we are very sensitive about it, it's really changing. It does change. It changed by adjusting your fats. I don't know how the face change, but
like miraculously the
fats will readjust themselves.
Okay.
Yeah. So the face become more fair. Because whenever I get lazy with my medication, there was one time right after my surgery, I got lazy with my medication. And when I got lazy with my medication, my estrogen level plunged. My estrogen level plunged, oh my God, my face is like, so I can feel that it looks so manly.
Okay.
So it makes a lot of difference. Then of course the face. Then the other thing is, of course, the skin becomes smoother. Yeah.
Skin and then the leg, the thigh.
Okay. The very important thing was losing my muscles.
Oh.
Because as a guy, right, you don't do push-up for 15 years. Well, you still have all the muscles, And it's very irritating. So when I went on a full-fledged HRT, right? Then I lose the muscle definition. Now, of course, some of the girls who are very fit, right? They trying their hard to get muscle definition. I'm going the other
But for
direction.
you, yeah, you're the other way.
Yeah, I don't want muscle. I don't want the 小老鼠, all this kind of thing.
But no, your figure, I think, is very
the other thing, of course,
really.
you put on weight. You put on fats
ratio.
at your hip.
Also, the estrogen also will cause your
grow
hip ratio.
buttocks. It grow my buttocks a lot more than. But I mean, he used to have nice buttocks. So it just got a bit rounder. Yeah, I think it's a bit rounder.
Okay. Then the surgery. What about the surgery? What surgery have you went through? I mean, if you don't mind sharing, okay, provided not sensitive.
Yeah. Of course, I went for it's called SRS. So, sex reassignment surgery. I mean, there are other terms, but that's the most common one. So they remove that part, and then after that, put in a brand new lobang.
After the surgery, because last time as I spoke to the other transgender, she did share with me that that surgery itself, like almost killing her, like so painful for her to go down to bed. Was that true?
It's a major operation. End of the day, it's a 7 hours operation. When I woke up, I was in a lot of pain.
Did you cry?
A lot of pain. Yeah, it was. I was drifting in and out for consciousness because I was under GA. Then I was in a lot of pain. I was shouting myself, I want more morphine, I want morphine. But the nurses couldn't be bothered about me. I guess they are so used to us, but they really given us so much morphine. And yeah, it was really like very uncomfortable, very, very, very painful, I would say. It's not very, very sharp pain. It's just very, very dull pain.
How many days were you lying on the bed?
I think by the third day, they want us to come down and walk.
Oh.
As in all surgeries, when you have open up your stomach, right? There'll be air going in. So this kind of surgery requires you to come down and walk and pass out the air. So I tell you, it was like the nurses will insist that you walk. They insist that you walk, you'll feel better. You walk, you'll feel better. But at that point of time, you really don't feel like walking. You really just don't want to move. Because every time you move, you're like, ouch, right? Yeah. So that's the part where, then of course, end of the day, their advice is correct. So you have to slowly, with the help of them, the nurses, to move yourself to the edge of the bed, then put one feet down, then you then after you put a second leg down, then you then after that you
walk one step.
Take one step. Then you breathe a lot. Then after you take 5 steps, you say, okay, enough already. Yeah. So you have to do that for like 2-3 times a day, slowly till the point where you can walk. Yeah. And that itself was a milestone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where do you, I'm just curious, do you do the surgery here or?
No, Singapore don't have surgeon doing this anymore. So practically all of us go to Bangkok, Thailand.
Would that be safe? I mean, the equipment there.
They are practically the one of the place that do a lot of the surgeries. But if you ask me, if Singapore has the operation and if the cost is manageable, I would do it here.
What about the cost over there in
the cost Bangkok? There is a lot cheaper. Is of course there's no comparison really because there's no surgeons in Singapore doing this anymore.
Then your here.
My here.
Do you want to share about this experience?
I tell you, the here was more painful than the bottom part.
How many times, if you can?
Easily 5 more times, and that one is really painful. After I got through the first 7 or 8 days, I really feel okay already. So I was hoping that they can quickly operate on the top part.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, you did the whole
in one single trip.
Oh.
I was naive. I naively think that I can handle both at the same trip. In fact, I thought that they're going to do it in the same op because that was what I heard from my friend because she had an op in Singapore 20 plus years ago and she did both together. So I thought it can be done. And but when I was there, the surgeon says, no way. So on the 11th day, then they wheel me in to do my top.
Okay.
Yeah. And when I woke up, it was even more painful. It was so painful that I was like, oh my God.
Like you didn't move, you will feel the pain also.
Every single small movement. Okay, first of all, you are in pain. So you will try to move to relieve the pain, right?
Yeah.
But you move out, it's even more painful. You are like people pour kerosene on your chest and then light a fire. It was burning sensation. It's all nerve pains and skin pain, muscle pain. Yeah, everything is inside. Everything inside got blue blacks and all everything. Wow, it was like painful.
But when you look at it, do you feel...
No, it's all bandage out. You can't see anything.
Okay. But do you regret at the point of time when you experience the pain? Like
Sort of like, wow. I mean, I feel very cheated because online everyone was saying that this one is very easy day surgery only. Day surgery. In Singapore, if you do it in Singapore, it's day surgery, okay. They discharge you on the same day and go back home and rest.
How can, like you said, like if it's so painful, how can they discharge you?
Oh my God. So
day?
I tell you, it was a day surgery. Because after the op, right, so I was wheeled out about like midnight or something like that. Then after that, or the next morning by 10 plus 11, right, which I was still in a lot of pain. I couldn't move at all, right. They say that I need to go back to my hotel room. Right? So they shoo me back to the hotel room.
Wow.
Then I was like screaming my head off because I was like, I begged the nurse. I say, I pay. It's okay, I pay. I stay one more day in the hospital or 2 more days in the hospital. I say, I pay. But the nurse say, sorry, there's no more bed. Their business very good.
So you went to the hotel and then you recover yourself?
Yeah, the hotel is just side by side to the hospital. If you ask me, the hotel is more comfortable. But you are all alone. Their hotel, of course, I wouldn't say hotel. They are more like what they call...
Like studio? Apartment?
What is called that?
Airbnb? No,
it's not. Yeah, like it's some sort of like it's almost like a hotel, but it's not. So there's a special line to pull out. So they do, if you are really in trouble, you can pull that line.
Oh, so they will come and...
As in the people inside, it's not really hotel, but it's still, they do have, they
cater for those patients.
Correct. Yes, correct.
I see.
You still have follow-up visits, it's follow-up visits. So you have to do a lot of post-op care, called dilations, twice a day.
Okay.
Within the hotel itself, they have this stretch of cubicles for you to do your dilations.
I see. So you did this surgery during COVID and then you went over Thailand. For how many days you stay over there and then you fly back?
From the point of my arrival to the point where I fly back, it was 23 days.
23 days. So when you fly back, you were not in pain anymore?
I was in pain. I regret that I felt that I should have stayed a bit longer. But it's still a decent time that I stayed there. Right. Now, of course, I miss my cats a lot. I was, oh my God, I was crying and crying not because of the pain, but because I was missing my cat so much.
Oh, so you're crying?
Yeah, I was crying. It's like, I couldn't take it. I couldn't take it. Every time I on my video, look at them, I was crying. Okay, so when I was coming back and I had I was 23 days was maybe 1 more week would have been better lah. Yeah, so, but there's important to stay for a certain period of time, because if you have any complications, usually you will flare up during that period of time.
What kind of complications?
Yeah, there are people who come back after 3 or 4 days, but that's too dangerous, because usually the complication will flare up within the 7 to 14 dads.
What could be the complications?
There's this issue called granulations. Basically, it's the scarring, internal scarring. So the internal scarring, they must fix it immediately.
Oh.
Yeah.
Then, like after you fly back, do you take medical leave or immediately you start work already?
I planned it quite nicely so it was when I come back, it was a Christmas season, so there was still about quite a few days of rest.
Mm.
And then after that, then I was able to start work. And of course, COVID time, there was this work from
Work from
home.
home.
So that also was a good thing.
So,
At least I don't need to travel to work, which is a chore. Yeah.
So
Then I
like
need to dilate twice a day.
twice a day. Then what else do you need to do?
3 times a day.
What else do you need to do like every single day?
Okay, let me explain to you what is dilations. I mean, the lobang is new ma. So it can potentially collapse. I used to work collapse. So it may close down. It may close up. So we need to put a sticker like a dildo, but it's not like a dildo. It's just a clear plastic. And you need to put it inside and make sure that the hole doesn't collapse. And when you put it inside, right, the scars are all fresh,
Oh,
yeah, and
must
the
be
muscles
painful,
are
man.
all blue black. The whole area, a lot of blue blacks.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so then you have to stretch the skin.
Oh my
and
God.
then press against. Then you have a lot of the nerve there. It was like, wow. So there will be shooting pains. So when you push it in, there'll be shooting pains. Then you have the blue black pain, and you have the So it's always. But the thing about it was that the pain will last like 2 minutes, 3 minutes when your thing goes in. But once the rod goes in, right, you can watch on Netflix. So I was watching a lot of Netflix while doing the dilation, because dilation lasts 1 hour and you just lie there with a stick inside your
Oh,
lobang.
okay. So like nothing much you need to do, just then you can watch your TV.
Right after the surgery, the nurse will do the dilation for you. So you have absolutely no control of how fast, how hard she go in. Then you just...
Do you feel weird?
No, you just... Again, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out.
Like...
Then, so you just... Then, it's in already. Then it's in already, then okay. Then you take out your Netflix and start watching your Netflix. So then the nurse will come and check, because if you are lazy, right, then you let the rod slip out a little bit. Then she will nag you. Because must maintain the depth.
Yeah.
So, actually that part is painful because you need to push the thing against the top of the wall. So that's the part where you have to, you cannot 假抓, you need to push hard.
Wow.
Because usually the first part that will contract, that was, because you need to maintain the depth. I think maintenance of depth was really difficult.
I remember you shared with me before, like this difference. There are actually different sizes of.
So we all start with size 0. Size 0 all the way to size 5. Size 0 is like it's a very, very narrow stick.
Okay.
Size 1 is a very, very narrow stick. And that one is really like super damn painful.
Wow, from size 1 to size 5,
Yeah, you are size 1. Then of course when you're doing it, they say that I can't remember. They say every 2 weeks you have to upsize. Every 2 weeks you have to upsize.
You have to force yourself to upsize.
Yeah, and the upsizing. So once you are very comfortable with that size of a stick, right, you go in without any discomfort. You are practically, you don't even need to all this anymore. You don't need to. You just take a deep breath and it goes in.
Okay.
Right. Then after that, you have the second round of then now you need to upsize.
Yeah.
So you reach a point where you need to upsize, then you need to breathe in and out. Because but there was a trick lah. So you start with size 1 first, and you need to go to size 2, right? So for the first few days, right, you will do size 1 first. Then after like 15 minutes later, then you change the stick and put size 2 in. So it's a lot easier.
Okay. So
all the
even
way to then you start to get very competitive. Like you want to go size 5 as soon as you can. But you know that it's really a big challenge because whenever you go up one size, you lose depth. So
oh,
you want to get back your depth with the new size. So it's also not very straightforward. So like for example, you get your depth at size 1, which is usually 6 inch. Then after that, you have to when you switch to size 2, you can only achieve like 4.5 inch, 5 inch. Then you slowly push, and then after you push already, you have to hold it there. Yeah.
Until the 6 inch.
You get back the 6 inch.
I see.
Yeah.
So like even now you need to do every single day also to maintain? Or you don't
No
need to do every day?
maintenance maybe once a week.
Okay. I see.
think I'm quite lazy. Yeah.
So after which you come back, right? Do you experience any discrimination or like unhappy instances?
I think so actually this is one of the important thought process that I have when I was deciding whether to transition or not. Was the thought process was, first of all, the question is because the few friends that I came out to and talked to, they will say that you go overseas is better. Like you go overseas, you'll be a lot easier, and you know they will be more accepting to people like you, that kind of things. I mean, people like you sound so discriminating. But then I think about it. I also felt that I have friends who transition here, and they are living a very, very regular lives. So I figure that if I transition properly, I should be able to. Because if I go overseas, right, I got very scared because there are a lot even more changes. You have to do your transition. You have to find a new job. Then you have to make new friends, and so on and so forth. I felt that I was more confident that, just now when we just talking about, we will lose a lot of we must be prepared to lose a lot of friends.
Yes.
So what I did was that I slowly come out to a small group of people. So I have a notebook, and at the back of the notebook, I start to write down one name by one name of the people that I told, so that I start accumulating the names. I mean, of course, nowadays, it's more of a notebook of who I haven't tell lah. So I start writing the names, and I was a bit more at each name that a person that I tell, I get a bit more confidence that actually it's doable in Singapore law. That I may not be losing a lot of friends.
Do you agree that Singapore is considered inclusive, like transgender inclusive?
I would say that on the daily life, it's not that bad, not compared to the Western world, right? Because a lot of people have this misconception that the Western world will be more accepting, but that really depends on the city that you are in. Because most of the like in the United States, most part of the countries are very conservative. So it's not because I've been on the Facebook for very long, and so on and so forth, Instagram, and there are a lot of online hatred posts onto all the transgender. So there's and it's very scary because in United States, transgender get violent acts on them. The death ratio is higher than the average population. So it's a lot scarier to be a transgender overseas in these kind of countries. Yeah. So it is you can be like in the middle of the night dragged to one corner and get raped and then killed or smashed up, beaten up. It's really very scary. Or you get catcalls while you're on the street. Of course, down there even girls get catcalls. So I think in general, because of our Asian culture and a bit of awareness, I won't say acceptance. I haven't go to a point where acceptance is there, but in terms of awareness, or at least culturally, we Asians are a bit more reserved. So even if they find that you are weird, They generally won't
speak it out or won't
speak it out. The most they just look at you and then look at you again and look at you again. That kind of thing, lor. Yeah.
So you just need to go through. You just need to like overcome that. Look at you, that kind of
Yeah. But I mean nowadays, I pass quite well lah, so I don't have these issues. But people still look at me lah because I'm very tall girl ma. I'm very, very tall.
Yeah, you're very tall.
I'm too tall lah.
My fiance met you once, right? And honestly, he never suspect you're transgender. He just said that, hey, your friend, she very tall eh. She play basketball, is it?
Yeah, that's the thing I hate. Even, I mean, as a human being, I always get this. So he got it and I also got it. So yeah, both of us got it. We always like people ask, do you all play basketball? No, I don't play basketball.
He played basketball.
I never like, and he never liked basketball.
Okay. Yeah. I have one interesting question. Do you still meet your NS friend, and how if you do meet, right, how would they react when they see you as Elise right now?
Okay, unfortunately, I would say during my NS day, I was posted to the recruit training school lah. So my job is to train the recruits. And then after that, the instructors were all over the place already. So I don't have I didn't go through I don't have a bunch of same unit, they're always in camp together. So I was posted to these cyber warriors, and because I was downgraded. So then it's just a bunch of people that, every in camp we do with different people. So I mean, there's a chat group, but I wasn't. I don't
close with them, so you didn't.
Yeah, there are a few of them that are quite close. I mean, closer to me, but end of the day, it's not as close as the like if you spend 2 years in the same unit, that kind of relationship. So I wouldn't say that. And then some more, they reservice all the time together.
I see.
So I didn't really have that kind of. But I do know some of them lah.
So like for your colleague or for your friends, what was their reaction when they see you, or
I think also because thankfully of COVID I think at our age, our friends who were and then plus COVID, everyone maybe more like they always, a lot of them will say that life is short lor. Just live what you need to lah. You know. I mean, so I think because of COVID, the mindset also changed a lot. Yeah. And also when we reached, I think my friends are at that kind of age where as long as you demonstrate to them that you can continue your life without, I mean, they understand you may be suffering something, but in general, they will just as long as you are okay, you are okay. But I must tell you, guys' world and girls' world are very different.
How different? Because since you have been through...
Oh, that one very, very long subject.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, if you invite me, we can talk about the difference between the guys' world and the girls' world from someone who has been there and then...
Now in the girls' world.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, there are a lot of girls who say that, why do you want to be a girl? Right.
Are you happy now?
Initially, a lot of people ask me, why do you want to be a girl?
Yeah.
Girls so mafan. Yeah, then of course, then they say, but you don't have menses, that's why you don't think it's mafan.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
But,
But are you generally feeling happy right now? Happier?
Oh, of course. Every day I look at my mirror, I feel that, wow, this is me.
Yeah, like really beautiful happy. Girl.
Beautiful, that one I don't know lah, but
yeah. So, are you looking to date someone, or I mean?
I think that is something that I also
are you mentally and emotionally prepared to date?
I don't know. I mean, I enjoy meeting people lor. Yeah, as you know, I meet a lot of new people. A lot of new people know me. A lot of people knows me. Even if I sit in the cafe and having my coffee, and some guy will walk out and talk to me and say that she
Aw.
knows my name and call me my name. But I also have no idea who he is.
Wow, so you're famous.
I won't say I'm famous, but I also, it doesn't happen all the time. Then, especially since I'm such a tall girl, right? All the shop people in the shopping mall that I'm around, right? I'm sure they would have noticed me. Yeah. I mean, it's like, that tall girl, lor.
Do you remember the new Straits Time?
Straits Times.
The Straits Time post back in, I think, April or March this year, right?
Yeah.
I went back and looked at the post. I saw like 436 comments. At first, I thought I was wondering how would be the comment be like. Then I was quite shocked when I look at it, right? A lot of people, they are actually
Quite
saying
supportive.
that, yeah, quite supportive, and it was very heartwarming when I see that.
Yeah, I think Singaporeans should continue to be more inclusive, more supportive, and it really helps. One of the things that people do have a misconception is that this is a choice. To a certain extent, the choice of deciding when I decide to transition, yeah, that's a choice. But we don't really decide that we are transgender. We only come to accept that we are
accept
transgender.
that, and then accept yourself, and then make a choice
correct.
like whether you want to pursue with your transgender or
no, whether you want to live your life honestly to yourself. Yeah, I think that part of it is if you accept, you can actually live a meaningful life, continue to contribute to the society. Better than you end up part of a suicide statistics, right? So I think that part of it is very important, that everyone in this society can continue to contribute, can continue to be supportive, that there's a bit of diversity.
Yeah.
Everyone, when you have that kind of diversity, whether is it race, or whether religion, or sexual orientation, sexual identity, all these kind of things, once you have a certain amount of tolerance and acceptance, then, everyone contribute to the society and make the place a much better place to be. Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah, I think that part of it, I think all our friends have done a good job. Yeah, whether, even the coffee, every morning you buy your coffee, right? From this store, right? So it was very funny because the story was that, so because of COVID, we never go back to office, right? We never go back to office. After 3 years, we suddenly appear. Of course, me being tall and handsome, him being tall and handsome. So always attract a bit of attention. Then I'm a very pleasant. I like to see I'm a very pleasant person. I make friends easily. So I talk to them. Then after that, after 3 years of never appear, that I suddenly appear again, but it's a totally new me.
Yeah.
Then at first I just pretend that I'm a new me. I don't know them, they don't know me. But the first time I buy, okay. Then the second time, they look at me, I look at them. So I asked them, do you still recognize me?
确认过眼神.
Yeah, I was just trying my luck. I was a bit playful that day, so I tried my luck. And I asked, do you remember me? Then they say, then they say that, it's been 3 years, so we cannot remember all our customers. Then why? So okay, then I say, okay. So I walk away. Then of course the next few days I go in and buy. Then they, I think they talk among themselves. So then they ask. So then I say, you sure? Then we sort of talking. Then I say, yeah. Now I had to go through many changes. I said it. I went through many changes. Yeah. Then they say, yeah, it's you right. Then I say, yes, it's me. Yeah, because my hair color, my height, It's very obvious. So they say, yeah, it's you. And they are okay. They are really regular folks, Are very nice people, Of course, what do they have to lose? I'm just one customer, right?
Yeah.
But all these little things
that makes you, I would say, like feeling like being accepted. And
I think it's about addressing me as a she. I think that small part will be very useful.
Like by just addressing you as she and call you by your name, Elise, that would be...
Okay, they probably didn't know my name, but anyway, yeah. So, calling me menu out. That kind of things really makes a lot of difference. It really makes a lot of difference.
Like recognize you by recognizing that,
and they say, it's okay, life is short. They always say, everyone say life is short. Yeah.
Okay, we are coming to the end of this podcast. But before we end, right, is there any advice that you can give to whoever that they are thinking of? Should they go for transgender or should they not?
I think it's important to explore the path with the medical specialist. And I think there's a few advice. If you are parents of a kid who are coming out as a transgender, who are seeking help, please don't gatekeep her. Please don't say that you are young, you don't know what you are experiencing. You create a lot of suffering. Bring a child to the polyclinics and then refer them to the IMH or whichever hospital that the polyclinic refer. Yeah, and it's not a death sentence when they come out as a transgender. And for parents, you must remember it's not your fault. But if you don't support your child, it's your fault. I feel that, you don't, because all this so-called treatment, if you think about a transgender treatment or transition journey, if you think about it, it narrows down to you have to take some medication, adjust lifestyle, then you can live your life normally and fruitfully and contribute to the society. Now, if you think about these three things, right, then you realize that isn't it the same if you have high blood pressure?
Yeah.
Or even like mild diabetes or some skin problem. So it's exactly the same that it's not a death sentence. It's not something that unless you really create this emotional scarring on your child. Instead, if you provide a lot of support for the parents, you provide the support for them. The parents provide the support for the child. Then over time, your child will have more confidence to live their life fully and be able to still create a good life for themselves. Right. So this part of it, I would say this is the advice for parents and then for family members as well. Yeah, because Singapore, there's a newspaper, there was some studies. A lot of people, there are a lot more wider acceptance nowadays of whether the gender identity or the sexual orientation. But when it comes to friends and colleagues, but when it comes to their own family members, the acceptance level is lower. And it's a very interesting observation. Yeah. So I feel that offering support as a whole, as every single, whether is it people that you barely know, you're acquainted with, understand that when they decide to come out, it takes a lot of courage for them.
Yes.
Yeah. And it takes a lot of searching of this thing. Yeah. Why make it a death sentence? Why make it like a dead end? Actually, there are a lot of people who can just live a fruitful life.
Yeah, I do agree that family members plays a very important part to at least not to reject them.
Don't kick them out of the house. Don't deny
Yeah.
No, don't deny them see one piece of clothing as throw away.
Yeah, so I think to wrap up, thank you, Elise, for your time, and thank you for sharing it out vulnerably, I would say, and transparently as well. Thank you.
Thanks for being letting me on this show. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for being part of this incredible dialogue. We hope this episode has inspired you to embrace heart-to-heart dialogue in your own life. If you love to share your stories with us, DM us, comment below, or use the hashtag HTHDstories. Your voice matters, and we can't wait to listen and learn from you. If you enjoyed today's conversation, don't forget to subscribe and share this episode with your friends. Remember, every genuine conversation has the power to make a difference. Let's make an impact together. Till next time.